I'm Victoria Jane, and this is Vic Meets. I am in London at Levi's, wearing Levi's, and I am with the incredible, the beautiful, the talented, a lady I am glad to call my friend, the wonderful Morgan Munroe. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Great. Smiles, happy, we're good. But thank you so much for joining me.
I'm glad to be here, man. Come on, I couldn't say no to you.
I feel like I've known you for such a long time, but at the same time, it's such a short length of time.
Yeah.
But then again, your music career has only been, it feels like a long time as well, but you've not been doing music for that long, like actually releasing. But tell me about taking it back to the start and when you first started making music properly.
Okay, so should I hold it all?
Yeah, you can take the mic, girl.
I've been singing since literally, I always say since I came out of the womb, like it's just always been a thing that I enjoyed to do as a hobby or like after school classes or whatever. So it just kind of progressed from there, to be honest, because I don't know, like rather than going out and like, I don't know, playing with your mates or whatever, I was just always in like after school shops or workshops or like anything creative basically. So I kind of just like never stopped doing that until it became like a chosen career path. Yeah.
So like growing up, was you always around music? Did you have a very musical background? Like how did you discover your love for music originally?
Well, my dad's a DJ. So I used to be around that a lot, and then his dad, I know, and his dad was also a singer. So like, there is one other singer in my family, which was my pop. He used to do like Elvis Presley and Frank Sinatra tribute acts.
Does he still do that now?
Well, he's passed away now, unfortunately, but like he did it all up until he passed, basically, and he was so good. Like when I tell you, he sounded like just like Frank Sinatra. It was amazing. So I feel like I got a lot of my passion from seeing them do it, and then my mum, just the songs that she used to play, like she had a really good music taste of like all R&B, noughties, garage, like everything, soul, hip hop. So I feel like in the house, I lived with my mum, in that house 100% all the time music was playing. So I just kind of got my love from there, and she used to take me to festivals when I was like obviously of age, but like, you know, the ones that the kids go to, like T4 on the beach and stuff like that. So yeah, she probably was the one that made me have a passion for music. Yeah,
That's crazy to think that your mum had such a mad influence, and probably still does to this day, maybe.
Probably,
Yeah. And I feel like what I really want to know is, what was the moment that sticks in your head that made you think to yourself, like, I can actually do music and I can take it seriously and actually have a good crack at this?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Like the moment that kind of it hit you, kind of.
I feel like it was when I started to see friends and like people around me in a close vicinity doing it as well, and like getting so far and getting the recognition that I didn't feel like, especially coming from a small city, Leicester, I didn't think that it could be achievable. So when I did start seeing people progressing, and then I'm like, oh, but it kind of made me look at, okay, before I saw that, I saw celebrities as like, oh my days, they're so far away. Like all these people that I loved and looked up to as artists, I thought they were just like untouchable. And when I started to see people around me doing it and progressing, I was like, oh my days, they're actually normal people, and like maybe I could do this too and like actually get somewhere with my music. So yeah.
What made you kind of feel like they were untouchable?
I don't know, I feel like I was just so used to, the only people I looked up to were like Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Beyonce, Rihanna, people like this who at the time like just seemed like so far away from my life, because I never really got into like listening to people from the UK until I was a bit older. So yeah, I think that's why, to be fair.
That's so mad. And I kind of wanted to touch on you coming from Leicester, because obviously you live in London now. How long have you been in London for?
Like 10 years now.
10 years, that's crazy. So 10 years ago, you've been in Leicester. A lot of people don't know about the Leicester music scene and what's going on there, what's been going on there, how it is for artists and creatives in Leicester to come up. So talk to me a bit about how it used to be, how it's changed, and kind of maybe what more things need to happen to put a light on Leicester, some of the talent there?
Do you know what? I did a chat on BBC One Extra last year about like the music scene in Leicester and what needs to be done, because I feel like when I was a kid, before I moved to London, well, I wasn't a kid, but I was a kid. I feel like I was a kid, yeah. There wasn't really much going on. There was a lot of workshops. There was a few performances here and there, but there wasn't really a scene. There wasn't a community of music. I didn't feel at that time anyway, which is why I came to London. But now when I go back, there's definitely a scene. There's definitely like a couple of music studios that everyone goes to, and all the music people are like integrated. They know each other, they help each other, they support each other, which is really beautiful to see now, because it definitely wasn't there back in the day. But there's still a lot more to be done. I feel like people aren't really pushing people in Leicester unless you're in the music scene yourself, you know? So yeah, it's slowly getting there, but yeah, it's taking its time.
Is there anyone from Leicester that you think people should look out for, aside from yourself?
Queen Mills, Kamikaze, Man is Cool, he's a sick producer. Who else? Off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone else, but yeah. Just
touching on Kamikaze, because some of the first songs you ever did were with Kamikaze. Yeah. How was that interaction, making some of your first bits and bobs with him, and then like bridging on from there into, you know, the singles that you then released leading up to Elvira?
So I started out just making music with my friends. I've known Kamikaze. I hate people saying it. I've known Kama since I was like 15. So when we started doing music, it was like our little group. We were all doing music. So it just naturally happened together. We'd be chilling. We'd like write music. And that's how I started to like find my own sound and like really get in like more into the writing scene especially. So it was just fun. It was just really fun, to be fair. Yeah, I loved it. It's nice now to go back sometimes and like work with them as well, because it's like quite nostalgic.
I bet. And he's also done so well. Like he's very pivotal in his own genre and field. Talk to me about then releasing your own singles, just you, and kind of how your style has changed, or maybe has not changed, or in what ways you kind of grown since releasing the first few singles, and then you've not released. Yeah, Elvira is the only, the latest body of work, really. Isn't it?
I had a little body of work that was out. Yeah, it was called Layers 0.5, and I actually did release it before, but I kind of like reworked it and then re-put it out during COVID. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like I was very experimental. I feel like the scene in Leicester there was never really like, this is the genre, you do this genre. Everyone was just so experimental. We just made cool stuff, like whatever we wanted to do, we just did. There was no barriers or boundaries. And I feel like I still have that very much in my music today. I don't like to box myself off to like, you know, typical structures or... so I feel like I definitely kept that aspect, but it's just got, the quality's just grown as I've gotten older, and it's become a bit more, what's the word? I want to use the word emotive, because I like to like tell stories and like grab the attention and, you know, really take people on a journey, rather than when I used to write, it was kind of just like trying to find cool stuff to say. Now I feel like I have points I want to get across, and like, you know, symbolizing stuff and empowering people, and yeah.
So just before I get on to Elvira and your songwriting and your vocal ability, how was it making that adjustment and moving to London? Because that is something a lot of artists think about, a lot of creatives think about, but doing it is very different from actually, you know, saying it and thinking it. So how was that for you? And have you adjusted now?
Oh yeah, I've definitely adjusted now. I never want to move back to Leicester. Love you, Leicester, but no. I've always been like quite, what's the word? I like to just go with the flow, and I don't really get scared of change. Like I like going to different places and traveling and whatever. So I kind of was just really excited to move. It was a bit overwhelming at first. Obviously, I feel like I had to rebuild a whole career basically that I'd already started in Leicester, because nobody knew me from here. But yeah, it was fun. It was just really fun going out and like meeting new people and going to new events and just building my new community. So I really enjoyed it, to be fair.
That's so rad. I love that you had such a positive
Yeah.
Moreover than, because, London can be quite a lot to deal with, and very overwhelming. But I want to talk about your vocal ability, because I have to say, Morgan's vocals are like, I honestly, especially not even just from the UK, I feel like your voice is one of the best like vocal ability that I've personally heard. Have you always had such a strong voice? Have you had vocal training? What have you done to kind of, how is your voice like? Because it also, I was watching Morgan perform at VIC's latest show, and my friend, shout out to Sheba, she was like, she's so effortless. And it was my first thought when I heard you sing in person. I was like, you're just so effortless with it. So yeah, talk to me about your voice.
It's definitely not effortless. I could always sing, but okay. So fun fact: when I was in school and I used to do like choir, my teacher wanted me to sing at her wedding, but like when I used to sing, I couldn't get no like power out. I just sing like this all the time, and it would be really quiet, and that was my voice. So she had to like train me to like get the power out and sing. So yeah, it took ages, I'm not gonna lie. I never had no dynamic in my voice. It was just all this whispery tone. And then through just like going to workshops, like I said, I used to literally go every week for like the whole time throughout the whole of school. So just practice. It was more like writing, we'd practice rather than singing, but obviously singing comes with the writing. So just practice over time. Like I've probably had about 3 vocal training sessions professionally, and other than that I've just like looked on YouTube for like vocal training and exercises and just tried to sing as much as possible to get better, to be honest. I'm still finding out new things about my voice and like how to manipulate it now, but yeah,
it's just like maturing basically. That's so mad. No, Morgan's voice is just out of this world. But I want to move on to Elvira, because this is what's kind of been the moment for me since I've met you, and what I still just absolutely love, and love hearing it, love hearing you perform it. And I just love it as a body of work. I think it's so cohesive, and it also shows how amazingly talented you are in so many different fields of artistry. So how was it putting that body of work together? Where did the inspiration kind of come from, especially behind the name? And how has it kind of shaped you with releasing this?
This is my baby, Elvira is. I had so much fun doing this project. We was doing it probably like over 3 years. 3 to 4 years even, because COVID obviously delayed us a lot. But it was just so fun. Like obviously it was my first time working with TJ, who's the exec producer for this project. And the first song we made actually was Space, which is very much, I know, and we didn't, at the time, that was our first studio session ever. We didn't even know that it was going to turn into a whole project. But that kind of set the tone. And then when we did, so I did Look What You Done with another producer, and when TJ post-productioned on it, we just got this, towards the ending of the outro, is such a classical, like, movie, like, film noir sort of esqueness to it, and like I was like, this is me, like this is what I'm trying to do. Like I want to blend R&B with classical and just like really have fun, but keep it to me and who I am. And he just got it straight away, and he was like, yeah, this is the tone for the EP. So then from there we just kind of created a love story, which is all true stuff anyway from my life, because that's what I write about. And it just made sense. Like every song just fitted in so well, even though they were quite different in the beginning. Me and TJ worked together to sort of blend them through and make it all cohesive, and it really allowed me to like get more involved in production as well, and like take more of a role in the music studio when it comes to working with other people on the track, because a lot of people think, oh, you just sing the songs and then the producer does everything else. Like no, it's a whole team effort, So yeah, it was really fun, and I learned a lot throughout doing this project.
And I love the fact that you had a hand in like kind of producing and the other bits and bobs that are involved behind the actual recording process. I also love the fact that you had the visual side aspect to it when you had your dark hair. I love how you can chop and change though, because you can just pull off anything. But the visuals, how come you decided to do that kind of full length film, and how was it making that as well?
I always wanted to do a film, and I feel like I actually wanted to do videos for the whole thing. But obviously, it's 9 songs. That's a lot to do, and it was.
Especially as an independent artist.
Yeah, it was a lot. So I settled at doing like snippets into a movie. And we just wanted to do the movie essence because of the like I was saying, the musical aspect of that vibe as well. So that's how we did that, and then we used like a cinematographer. Cinematic camera. I don't know the correct term, but it was like for movies. So we just really were playing into the movie aspect because obviously Elvira is the name of Scarface's wife, which is a movie as well, my favorite film. So it was all just a movie like theme throughout, the visuals, the audio, everything.
And are you going to kind of keep that going with your music moving forward, or was that kind of just a period, a phase? Like, how do you see yourself as an artist moving forward? Like, your image, is it going to be similar, or?
It's definitely going to be similar because I feel like Elvira is my vibe anyway. Like the visuals that you saw and the outfits that I wear and stuff, that is very much me. But I think we went a bit more classic to go back to that sort of time period of when Scarface came out. So now I feel like I'm definitely going to keep elements of that, but bring it into a bit more of a modern Morgan Munroe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that. And I did want to ask you, like, how is it being an independent artist and having to kind of do all this yourself, like doing the music videos, the recording? There's a lot that goes into it that people just hear the songs, people just see it. But then you've got also social media, TikTok. Like, how do you kind of manage dealing with everything?
I don't know if I manage. It's tough. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. I can't lie. But it's just one of them things you've got to do. Like, I know that I'm the only person that's going to either prevent my success or make it happen. So at the end of the day, I just got to get it done, to be fair. It's kind of like just having to prioritize. Like, for a few months I might be a studio rat and just be in the studio. For the next few I might just work on like being my own admin manager and getting all my social media content done, whatever, emails. So I kind of try to do it in like periods. Even if it's like 1 week I'm going to focus on studio, 1 week I'm going to do this, next week I'm going to be pitching. Like it's just trying to find a balance with it. Yeah, because it is hard, man. Being self-managed, independent, like doing every single thing yourself. Obviously, I have a bunch of friends around me that are in the same world that can help. If I need to ask for support and help, I can. And it's knowing that as well, because, that's a big thing.
Do you think that's played quite an important role, like having a good support group and good people around you?
Very important. Even just from a mental aspect, to know that you're not by yourself in these thoughts alone, because we can really get ourselves down and self-doubt and overthink things, and it's not nice, I guess, knowing that other people think that same way, but to know that we're in the same place and that actually like it's just in our brains, like it's really good.
So moving on, Elvira's been released a year kind of nearly a year ago. Insane. That's such a mad thing to be proud of. What can people expect at the live show? Oh, you little. So you're going to be performing at the VIC Meets show. Yeah. What can people expect?
Do you know what? I'm probably going to do a couple exclusives.
Yeah,
I think it's about time. I'm getting ready to release, so I'm definitely going to do some new stuff and feel it out with the crowd. Obviously I'm going to definitely do a couple things from Elvira, just because it is around the same time of the the year anniversary. But I'm just going to try and have fun. I want to really get like I love intimate shows, so when I do intimate settings, I'll probably just come me and a guitar, do some some cool stuff, really just get integrated with the crowd and have a good time.
Yeah, and that's going to be the vibe of the night, really, just all about the vocal ability and the true artistry, really. And then what can we expect from you this year? What's your plans? What should people know about and watch out for?
Okay, I've got lots of music coming. It's pretty much just singles. I'm just going to be releasing lots of singles, maybe a couple of visuals. Actually, I've got a few visuals ready to go. And just performing, so live performances, new music, new Morgan Munroe.
Any features?
Features, yes. I'm not giving away no names, but definitely some features this year, which I'm really excited about as well. Yeah, you can see my face smiling now.
Yeah, I have got to say, I think Morgan's one of the best female artists, and that's why the papers are agreeing. Yeah, so if you don't know about Morgan, then please go and come to the show or find out about her. Follow her. What are your socials?
My socials are Morgan Munroe everywhere. It's spelled MorganMunroe. The only thing that's different is Morgan Munroe Official, which is my Instagram.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing this mic with me. Thank you. Actually, one more thing. What's one thing that I probably don't know about you? Like a random fact. What? I love to ask this question to everyone.
You know a lot about me already.
One thing that people overthink this because it could be like, I had this for breakfast, but everyone likes to have like something really interesting. But what's one thing I probably don't know about you?
I don't know, Victoria, you put me on the spot. I'm not good at being put on the spot. I usually say I've got a pet tortoise, but you already know that because you've met Dave. Did you know?
Is this gonna be a mistake?
No. Okay. Did you know I'm from Trinidad?
No. I didn't
There we go.
But actually,
Everybody knows that.
there we go. A little fun fact.
Yeah.
Thank you.